Welcome to the place where visionaries, leaders, and kingdom builders come when you are in the alley as I help you discover the keys to unlock your next level of clarity, strategy, and confidence. I'm Dr. Latanya. Welcome back to my channel. It's Dr. Latanya Moore here to help you discover the keys, especially when you are ready to unlock your next level of clarity, strategy, and confidence when you're in the alley or in between building phases. Listen, we're going to dive in to something that I really enjoy, and I want to show you how this one game-changing strategy of going deeper in my vision with God unlocked so many things for me, unlocked so much clarity, gave me so much strategy, and catapulted me into my next level. Okay? So if you're a visionary already, you are someone who can really see, think big, dream, all of those things, right? Well, that is amazing. And I love that because when you are a dreamer, when you're a visionary, you're able to see the big picture of things. And so I just recently heard someone say that dreamers and doers go hand in hand. So as dreamers, right, we need doers. But I want to stick with really thinking about the dreamers and the visionaries today, because as leaders, you really have to be a dreamer. You really have to be a visionary, right? You have to be able to see what we call in the business world, the 30,000 foot level, the top. And you want to be able to see that because you want to be able to communicate the vision to other people. So before we talk about communicating your vision, let's make sure that you can get vision, that you can gain vision, okay? So one of the things that I've loved about my journey of really unlocking and discovering that I was prophetic is that the Lord has allowed me to see. I often see visions, and these are moving visions, almost like I am watching TV or watching a movie. My visions move, and there are dynamic pieces and parts to them. Also, I have dreams, and so those dreams have allowed me to really see, understand, and interpret the instructions that God is having me to move in as well, okay? So I am naturally a visionary. I'm naturally the person who is going to have visions, and that is the way God speaks to me. Not every visionary has visions, right, or dreams. Some visionaries, especially kingdom visionaries, could be prophetic, and in a way they have the wisdom and the knowledge, right? They could be, or you could be in a place where you're a visionary and you actually hear God, right? You can hear God audibly. You might be a visionary who really understands and interprets what God is doing, what He's saying through vision, through the word, right, as you're reading. And it could be that you have just unctions in your spirit that come up, and those really make you that visionary because those things in your spirit really rise to the top. All right. So I am the visionary who has visions. I want you to think about the type of visionary you are and how God speaks to you. All right. Now, I've always had visions. I've always had the opportunity to really see what is coming next. However, in September of 2023, something shifted with my vision when I did this one activity. All right. When I tell you at the end of this activity, I was able to see so many things. I literally began to see some things that I had never seen before, and I was able to live those things out. And so now I'm living in that vision. I have moved from prophecy to promise on that vision. And so I want to tell you exactly what I did to get there so that you can try it too. Are you ready? It's actually a prompt. So I'm going to give you the prompt. I want you to hear it. I want you to listen to it. I want you to take it down, and I want you to meditate on it and really spend some time with God doing this prompt. And then I'm also going to tell you how it was a game changer for me. You ready? Actually, let me tell you how it was a game changer first. So after I did this prompt, I began to see, hear, and understand what was coming next. And one of those things was I saw myself in vision going to a tiny home. Yeah, a tiny home. And I thought to myself, I have never been to a tiny home before. However, I'm fully trusting that this is what I see in my next season. And so I saw myself in this tiny home, and in the tiny home, there was actually like chart paper all over the walls, and you could tell that I had been planning something. And so I began to see this planning exercise and this planning activity that I was doing with God. And I felt like before the year came in, I sat with God in a tiny home in the woods, okay? And we planned out my entire year. Well, I wrote this down as I'm going and doing the activity that I'm going to give you, and it was a game changer. The reason why is because it was written down, because I saw it doing the activity, I moved forward. It came up in my mind, it came up in my vision, so I said, well, let me look for a tiny home. Well, lo and behold, I had no idea there was a whole area where tiny homes are only an hour away from me, and it's called the Getaway House. So if you want to experience the Getaway House, I got something for you. Go to the link. I want you to make sure that you have this opportunity as well. It was incredible. I spent 2 days in the woods. Okay, well, it wasn't like deep woods, but it's deep enough, okay? Deep enough for there to be no Wi-Fi and 1 bar signal. And it was the most peaceful thing. I know, if you just got scared right here, it's all right. You're gonna push through it. That 1 bar signal will allow you to talk to whoever it is that you need to talk to. But I personally just shut the phone right on down, okay? I stayed out there in this tiny home for 2 days. And what I did was I did exactly what I saw in the vision. I activated what I needed to activate for the next year. The Lord had me planning. The Lord had me mapping some things out. I did not worry about getting on the internet at all. I was not on social media. I made sure that I had some things scheduled, and I made sure that I refreshed and refueled in my time with God. I also took my Bible, my study tools. I did all of those things so that I can really connect with Him. Woo! It was so good. The other thing that I wrote out as I moved in this activity is I wrote out some things that I was going to do in my business. And it was so clear as I wrote it out that I had no trouble pulling out the instructions and saying, all right, I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna do exactly what I just saw, right? So it's like it activated this next level of even business strategy, business acumen. God began to speak to me and tell me some words that I hadn't even like really moved into yet, right? I literally had to go to Google to try to figure out what exactly this meant for me, what God was trying to tell me about these things, okay? And so it just moved me into this next level of thinking, of planning, of visualizing, and in really seeing myself the way that God was, seeing me in the movement, right? He was showing me where I was going, and it was so clear that I was able to map out where I was going from where I was. It was like a whole GPS. It was like I put in my direction in the vision, and He showed me every step of the way in order for me to get there to that vision. And I started to move in it. So I booked the tiny home. I started to map out the business structure the way He told me. I started to bring people in the way that He told me. There's still so much more to do, even as it relates to team members. I built a new org chart. I did all of these things, okay? And I was fully prepared, and still layers on layers and layers of things that I need to do in order to fully live out this vision. However, I'm living in it right now. Now, what happened was I came into agreement with the vision that I had seen when I spent time with God doing this activity. I guarantee you, when you take this seriously, when you sit in the presence of God to actually do this, you're about to see a new level of vision. Make sure that nothing is holding you back, nothing is in your way. All your barriers and blockages are moved and removed as you move into this thing. Are you ready? So I want you to sit in the presence of God. I recommend listening to, it's an instrumental called Leaders by Kirby Love. It's linked in the description below. I want you to listen and put on that melody, put on that instrumental, put it on repeat, okay? Because you're gonna sit in the presence of God with this prophetic instrumental and do this activity. Here is the activity. You're going to pretend that you are the creative writer of a TV show, and you are sitting in the writer's room. Woo! You are in the writer's room. You are ready to script out the next season that God is calling you to. Imagine that. But you're gonna do it with Him. You and God are both sitting at the table to script out your next season. You all are ready to talk about the characters. What are the characters doing in the show or the season? What does each episode include in the scenery? This is getting good already. Are you seeing yet? Who are the main characters? Of course, you're the star. However, who are the main characters who are there walking alongside you throughout this process? What is the plot or the plot twist that is happening in this scenery? What are the viewers expecting to happen during this season? I want you to create a creative script with God. You and God are sitting at the table and you all are scripting out this next season. I want you to begin to visualize. I want you to begin to hear. I want you to begin to experience what God is saying to you and what He's calling you to do. I want you to be in the moment with Him. Close your eyes if you need to. Continue to listen to the prophetic worship and really seek Him during this time. All right? Now, I want you to write all of this out. This isn't something that you keep in your mind. This is something that you write out. You want to script out and spend time with God during this process, right? There are so many times that I use visualization exercises with my coaching clients. I sometimes have them visualize themselves in gardens or visualize themselves winning the award or visualize themselves on stage. There's something powerful when you can begin to see the thing that God said to you or that He showed you, right? And if you don't know exactly what He's saying yet, this is a powerful tool for you to begin to come into agreement and allow Him to speak to you, okay? Don't go in it with any preconceived things. You want God to guide the process as you all are sitting at the creative director's table, okay? He is the director of your story, and He is going to help you to shift and change so that you can walk into what's already ordered. All right, listen, this activity shifted so many things for me, and I'm walking in that vision right now, down to even when I came to Dallas, when I moved halfway across the country in 90 days, and I sat down and I started to ask God, like, what does this new version of me that lives in Dallas look like? What does she drive? Where does she live? And I asked those things, and those very things that I saw in that vision, I am living in and I am driving right now. Yes. So I want you to do this, spend some time with God, go into a season of really understanding what He wants for you, and then move in that thing. Trust me, it changed everything. And I continue to do this activity regularly by spending some time with God and helping me, allowing Him to help me to see exactly where we're going, okay? Because listen, I don't know about you, but if God ain't there, I don't want to go. And so we're going together, all right? Listen, visionary, kingdom builder, this activity is one that I did in the Level Up Challenge. Have you experienced the Level Up Challenge yet? Because if not, you need to be in this Level Up Challenge. It is 4 days. It takes you through 4 ways to level up in your relationship with God and your faith, level up in your purpose and multiply on purpose, and level up in your leadership. And then we cover leveling up in kingdom business. And this is the first activity that we do. You can find this in the Builder Zone. Why? Because I want to make sure that you're building along the way. So make sure you grab the link and join us as we continue to build together. I can't wait to see what's on the other side of your vision. Remember, you got the keys. Let's go.